Shalom. Shalom. Apostle Tahar coming back at you with this truth, giving all praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem Rakah Kodash. And I'm going to entitle this video, He Trusted in His Riches and Strengthened Himself in His Wickedness. And this is from Psalms 52, verse 7. What I'm going to do is I'm going to read the whole chapter, which is a short chapter, but it says a whole lot. And I'm also going to, bear with me for a minute. I'm also going to go into the commentary. Anyway, what I'll do is I'm going to read it, and then I'm going to come back and, go into each and every verse. And I'm also going to go into the commentary. So it says, futility of boastful wickedness. It says to the chief musician, Mishkal, a psalm of David, when Doeg the Edomite came and told Saul and said unto him, David is come to the house of Ahimelech. Why boastest thou thyself in mischief, O mighty man? The goodness of the Most High endureth continually. Let me see. Let me take this first verse. Commentary. So I went through the commentary and 1 minute. That was a spam phone call. Anyway, so I went to Cambridge Bible for schools and colleges. And it says, this verse states the theme of the psalm, the contrast between man's wrongdoing and the Most High's loving kindness. The two halves of the verse correspond to the division of the psalm. The state of the second line is abruptly introduced, but it is virtually the answer to the question of the first. What avails it thee to boast of successful evil doing? So the precept that comes up is Psalms 10, verse 3, and I might even go into that. For the wicked boasteth of his heart's desire, and blesseth the covetous whom the Lord abhorreth. Now, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go to Psalms 10. Psalms 10. That's a little long. Okay, it says a prayer for the overthrow of the wicked. So we're supposed to pray that the wicked be destroyed. Let me read some of it. It says, why standest thou afar off, O Yahweh? Why hideth thou thyself in times of trouble? So we're in the times of trouble. We're waiting for this thing to speed up so it can become Jacob's trouble, because when Jacob's trouble commences, that's when the Most High, through his son and the angels, are going to intervene. So the worse that it gets out there, the better for us. Our salvation draweth nigh. It said the wicked and his, we know who the wicked is. Doeg the Edomite was one of the wicked. So when King David sung that psalm, he was talking about the actual man, Doeg the Edomite, but he was talking about the whole race of the Edomites. Now they might just take this video down over some community BS, because we ain't talking about, the so-called white boy. We're talking about Edomites. So they don't believe that the Edomites. So why should they be concerned? It says the wicked, buzzword right there, and his pride, he's known for his wickedness and his pride, doeth persecute the poor, let them be taken in the device that they have imagined. What device is going to take them out? What's the main device that's going to take them out? For the wicked boasteth of his heart's desire what he wants. Habakkuk 2 comes to mind. And blesseth the covetous whom the Lord abhorreth. He does things opposite of righteousness. That's why he's called wicked. What's the opposite of righteous? Wicked. The wicked, buzzword, fill in the blank. The wicked, through the pride of his countenance, will not seek after the Most High. The Most High is not in all his thoughts. So any Edomite that says he believes in him, he doesn't believe in the Most High. You know what his God is? His God is money, riches. His ways are always grievous. Thy judgment are far above out of his sight. As for all his enemies, he puffeth at them. He hath said in his heart, I shall not be moved. Obadiah 1 should come to mind. Isaiah 47 should come to mind. Isaiah 14 should come to mind. For I shall never be in adversity. And adversity is right up the block, right around the corner. His mouth is full of cursing and deceit and fraud. Under his tongue is mischief and vanity. He sitteth in the lurking places of the villages, in the secret places doeth he murder the innocent. His eyes are privately set against the poor. The poor, buzzword for who? Ain't talking about no poor Edomite or no poor Ishmaelite. It's talking about the Israelites. He layeth in wait secretly as a lion in his den. He lieth in wait to catch the poor. Buzzword, who are the poor. Now, vocab would say, well, is anybody that's poor? It could be a white person, a black person, an African person. we know who the poor is. The poor is talking about the Most High is not concerned about the other poor. He doeth catch the poor, and when he draweth him into his net, that's his system. All of us are a part of his system. You got a government name, you got a social security number, you got a driver's license, you got credit cards, whatever you have, you're linked to this system, man. That's why if they arrest you for anything, fingerprint you, and they further put you in the system, and all your information comes up. When you go to, and it happened to me, they'll bring up information that you went to school, what high school you went to, what elementary school you went to, if you went to college, what college did you go to, and from what years. They bring out all that information. Like I got arrested in the system, and it was a sister that was processing me. She wasn't a police officer, but she was part of the department. And she's looking at my record, and she said, "Oh, and you went to college?" And she said, "Look at you now, like I'm some hardened criminal, like I got a list of felonies a mile long." And that's how they look at you. That's how them see the thing about the Jake woman. Forget about the Jake woman. Forget about the Jake woman. You might as well go ahead and get you an Edomite or Ephraimite or a Moabite or whatever. The old school said, "Oh, they got demons on them." Well, but the black woman got angels on them. Anytime you see a sister in the system, she's gonna take that charagma, and she's gonna die. She's trying to make it. She's trying to do something with her life. Unlike you. That's how they look at you. That's why a lot of your sisters are getting with these Edomites. And if you go to places where Edomites are, like when we used to go down to the museum, the Met, guess who you saw down there? You saw a Jake woman with the Edomite boy. So they wouldn't do it necessarily in the hood, but they'll meet him somewhere. So these women are out of order, man. They're completely out of order. So they must be, the Most High is going to do away with them. And he's going to bring us a whole new crop of women. And you don't need the Jake woman to bring back Israel, as Fopi teaches. And Lahab teaches that same madness. But now Fopi is against Esau and the other nations, right? But he has Lahab, Blaze Judah, teaching them. And did he ask them the question concerning what about the other nations? Lahab ain't saying that. Lahab told me face to face. This was about maybe 2.5, 3 years ago, because I heard him say it, and I wanted to hear it from his mouth. I said, "Do you believe that Edomites and the other nations can make it?" And he said, yes. If they, how do you say it? If they believe. They don't believe in the Most High. They believe in riches, man. They believe in Pluto and Hades, the god of the underworld. It says, 10th verse, he croucheth, he humbleth himself, that the poor, buzzword, may fall by his strong ones. You had a shooting up in, was that Buffalo? Then you had another shooting, not even a week, about a week after. So that Buffalo shooting is already out the news. Ain't nobody thinking about that no more. That's old news. Now you had a major shooting in a elementary school, And it went from like 12 children to about 19, 20 children. And it was one teacher that was injured, and he shot his grandmother. She was injured, but then she died, but then she came back to life. So, we know what's going on behind the scenes. And this is all as we know how this man, let's go a couple of verses back. I'm sorry. Seventh verse. His mouth is full of cursing and deceit and fraud. Everything he does, this money system is based upon fraud. All fiat currency, look up the word fiat or fiat currency, all fiat currency, paper dollars, digital dollars, all go to zero. The first fiat money goes back to China. So Esau got the idea of paper money or fiat currency from China. And China's paper money system went to fraud. True money is a barter system. True money is a barter system. And Esau doesn't want that. It says his mouth is full of cursing and deceit and fraud. Under his tongue is mischief and vanity, wickedness. He sitteth in the lurking places of the villages. And how does he sit in the lurking places? Through his video system. His camera system. Like if you go to London, right? Let me try something. Bear with me for a minute. Go to Google. Okay. All right. Let me try this. Okay, we're at Google. How many cameras I always spell cameras wrong. Bear with me for a minute. CAMER. Cameras. How many cameras are there? Was it E? I'm sorry. TRAN in London. London. Lurking places, right? Meaning when somebody is lurking, that means they're hiding behind a car, they're hiding behind a wall, and they're seeing where you're going. It says London, England, UK. It says 691,000 cameras for nine. How many people is this? Are these? Okay, for 9 million people. Equals 73.31 cameras per 1,000 people. Let me hit images. Cameras all over the place. This is in London. Surveillance. Lurking. How many cameras are are there in, let me put in NYC. NYC. Come back over here. Not as many as how many surveillance cameras are in NYC. The report estimates that around 3,300 of these cameras are publicly owned and in use by government and law enforcement. Now, New York doesn't compare to London, man. They got a lot of cameras. It says the NYPD uses the domain awareness system to perform surveillance across NYC, the system being composed of numerous physical and software components, including over 18,000 closed circuit TV cameras around New York City. So that's a small number compared to London. Let me try this one. Let me see, Hong Kong. Is Hong Kong with a U? Hong Kong. Yeah, I'm sorry. Let me do it this way. China. Okay, estimates vary on the number of CCTVs, closed circuit TV cameras in China, but IHS Markit's latest report suggests that 54% of the world's 770 million surveillance cameras, which is half. So we're talking about, 400 million surveillance cameras are situated in China, meaning there are approximately 415.8 million located in this country. Okay, what I wanted was Hong Kong. Hong Kong. Hong Kong. China. Number of public surveillance cameras in Hong Kong 2019 by government department. As of April of 2019, the housing department installed a number of 1,648 sets of surveillance cameras in Hong Kong, among which 308 were used for monitoring objects being thrown off from buildings. Okay, well, that's just part of the system. Let me come back. Okay, this is in China itself, right? 54, it says IHS Markit's latest report suggests that 54% of the world's, in the oikoumene sense, which is a little bit more than 400 million cameras located in the country. That's why they have that social, system. And that's happened over here. And if you drove for Uber, you got a rating system for your passenger. If a passenger you don't like the way the passenger acts, you give them you give them a 0 or a 1 or a 2. Then they'll say for what reason. The passenger was rude to me. The passenger took too long. Whatever the case may be, and they can rate you. And watch the movie, the episode, The Black Mirror. Matter of fact, let me pull that up. Let me go to YouTube. And what's going to seal the deal with this whole system, which is the fourth industrial revolution, I've been saying that a lot, is that you're going to be a part of that system. And how are they going to surveil you? Through the charagma. Let me let this come up. Okay. What was I going to do? Black Mirror. Black Mirror. Oh, it says Black Mirror microchip. Let's see what that is all about. Okay, this is the episode that I want, and I don't know if you saw it. It's a little bit more than 2 minutes long. And this is a new system. But what's going to seal the deal is the charagma, right? It says Black Mirror, season 3, episode 1, airport scene. And you gotta watch. If you didn't watch it, you gotta watch it. That social rating system. You can do things based upon your rating. And you walking down the street, throw a piece of garbage. Either a camera will catch you, like in China, Hong Kong, or you jaywalk. And what they'll do is they'll put your face up on the screen. This guy jaywalked. So he's going to get on the train. You can't get on the train because you had 5 violations. This is what the fourth industrial revolution is all about. But please watch this if you hadn't watched it. And this came out 5 years ago. Wow. I mean, you want to talk about the black woman, boy. That's Satan right there. That is Satan. When you watch this scene, you take the Edomite chick side, and you kind of hate this. You kind of look at this demon right here, a complete demon. I can't stress this enough. You got to watch this episode. I want to show it, but you know how YouTube do. Anyway, let's I don't know if this is a TV show or if this is actually like a news thing or documentary. Matter of fact, I'm gonna watch this after I close this video. So anyway, let's come back over here to, and they always say, "Oh, it's for your safety." Yeah, it's for your safety. I went into a supermarket and I think I brought 2 jars of honey, but one was missing. So I thought I left it, at the store, but I paid for it. So I went back and I talked to the manager, and they say, "Okay, we'll give me a second." They went back. Do you know there was a damn camera me making that purchase, but they said nope. We checked out the camera and there was two bottles of honey and they were both put in your bag. And I couldn't say. I wanted to say, well, let me see it. I took their word for it, but I pulled the manager and I said, look, man, give me a thing. And then he said, yeah, go ahead. And then about a month later, I found the honey in my car. It fell down under the seat, and I felt bad. We're a passionate, we're a compassionate people. So I said, man, I should go back and give this guy the money and say sorry. And I said, I didn't do that, but I didn't realize that there was a can. If you go to a supermarket, does Tops come to mind? When you go to a bodega, if you in the NYC, if you go to a bodega, there's cameras all over the guy. The little corner store, we call it the bodega, in the Bronx and Staten Island, Manhattan, whatever, the little corner store with Simeonites or the Arabs, there's cameras all over the place. So if you got a big supermarket, you mean to tell me you ain't got cameras? You got cameras all over the place, man. Hidden cameras. And I was shocked because let's say there was, at that particular store, if I'm not mistaken, that was a Pathmark. Pathmark is out of business. Went out of business years ago. But anyway, I believe they had like maybe 20 cashiers, stations. And I guarantee you, every last one of them had a camera or two on each of them. So you mean to tell me there were no cameras up there with this situation? Oh, the Brooklyn, whoever was in the older heavy Jake, Big Jake in the train, they said that they questioned, what about the cameras? They said in the news, they said at one time, I caught it one time, they said we have cameras and all the cameras worked in the system, in the subway system, in the metro system. But for some reason, the camera in that car was not working. Come on, y'all. Nixon made a statement. He said, let me see if I can find it. And I'll get back into the scriptures. Nixon said, if it's on TV, people, let's see what comes up. People will believe it. Let's see what happens. Okay, Nixon said, search instead. Nixon said, if it's on TV. Let's see if that's true. I heard a couple of people say it. I'm just trying to look for the actual quote. Okay, I think I found it. American people don't believe anything real until they see it on TV. Nixon, 1994. So it's an actual quote. from President Richard Milhouse Nixon. American people don't believe anything's real until they see it on TV. And he made a statement in 1994. And see, when they put it on TV, man, you're gonna, I don't know, it's on TV. No, I saw it on CNN. Oh, it was on Channel 7 News. So it must be true. Yeah, these people, man, they're covered with a covering, man, covering cast. And that's why the masses of the people, and we're gonna be bugging out when we see the people lining up, when we see the celebrities pushing it. And they're gonna get us off the air. They're gonna get Alex Jones and everybody else. They're gonna get us out the way because they have to fulfill that agenda. So let's go back. Let me go to lurking now. Lurking. Psalms 10, verse 8. He sitteth in the lurking places of the villages. In the secret places doeth he murder the innocent. His eyes are privately or privily set against the poor. Keep buzzword poor. Let's look up the word lurking. Ma'arab, which means ambush, hunters, blind, ambush, lurking places, liars in wait. So it says ambush, right? The word ambush means armed bush. You're in the bushes with your arrow or your sword, and the enemy comes out, and you come out, and they say it's an ambush. Ambush means armed bush. So that doesn't just go back to England, merry old England. It goes back to during the Robin Hood days. It goes back far beyond that. But this is beautiful, man. American people don't believe anything's real until they see it on TV. So when they got the cuffs on you and they got the perp and you got the police around you, oh, he did it. Look, he looks guilty. These are low IQ people that you're dealing with, the people in America and the people around the world. But mainly the people in America. They're fucking idiots. I mean, idiots. And they'll use that. See, Tahar calls all American, that'll be a quote. To quote from Tahar. Tahar said all American people are idiots. Well, I'll rephrase that. Most of you are idiots, are fucking bloody idiots. Okay, give me a second here. Let me go. You know what I got to do? I got to save this. I got to save that. So let's come back. Okay, ambush meeting. Let's see if I'm correct. A surprise attack by people lying in wait in a concealed position. They should break the word down. Now I got to go to some goddamn etymology. They probably won't even break it down correct. et etymology online. Let's see what it says. It doesn't even say that here, but the am should be ambush, ambush. But they say ambush. Yeah, you can't even rely on this weak ass etymology online. They don't even go into the etymon of words. Okay, so I'm sorry. Let's come back. Okay, he croucheth and humbleth himself, that the poor may fall by his strong ones, his military, his police, whatever. He hath said in his heart, the Most High have forgotten. He hideth his face, he will never see it. That statement was pretty much made in, if you go to Psalms 50 and 16. He thought the Lord was altogether such as one as himself. Oh, the Lord is with me on this. Let me kill some more people. Arise, O Yahweh, O power. Lift up thine hand. Forget not the humble. Buzzword, what does humble stand for? We ain't talking about no humble Edomite or no humble Arab. Arab is talking about an Israelite. Another buzzword. Wherefore doeth the wicked, buzzword, condemn the Most High. Wherefore doeth the wicked contemn the Most High? He said in his heart, thou wilt not require it. In other words, at the end of it, when everything is ended, all I got to do is jump up and say, Jesus, baby, Jesus, and everything's all right. This is what vocab is thinking. This is what vocab is thinking. Vocab is a joke. And it's a damn shame that you let this guy come on your platform. I'm talking about Sarnetta. You give him you make him irrelevant. He's irrelevant to us. And if when he rolled up, we dealt with him eventually because if for edification's sake, we do videos on him to counter the videos that he does on us. And he's going to go down hard and fast. And it's the elder, the Vegas elder, Karatazar calls him Haman, which I believe, I wouldn't be surprised if he is Haman. 14 verse, Psalms 10 verse 14. Thou hast seen it, for thou beholdest mischief and spite to require it with thy hand. The poor, buzzword, committeth himself unto thee. Thou art the helper of the fatherless. Break thou the arm of the wicked. Now arms represent what? Power. And the evil man. He's not just a wicked, he's also known as the evil man. Seek out his wickedness till thou find none. And that's what we're doing. So you can, all you brothers that are out there on fire with this truth, you're bringing out, you're exposing this devil, man. It said, break down the arm of the wicked and the evil man. Seek out his wickedness through documentations till thou find none. So, you know, who's on trial? Esau. Esau is on trial. Jesus ain't on trial. Inside joke. Esau is on trial. So we represent the Most High and his beloved son Yahushua, and we are lawyers, attorneys, and the judge is the Most High Yahushua, and then the angels behind Yahushua. So we're bringing out all this evidence and documentation and scriptures, and so the evidence is overwhelming. The receipts are stacked 10 miles high. So there's nothing you can do. And then comes the sentencing. When the Lord tells his beloved son, go ahead and get the elect. 16th verse, Yahweh is king forever and ever. The heathen are perished out of the land. And when I go back to Psalms, was it Psalm 52? It's gonna tell you that the Most High is gonna take them from amongst the living. So the Most High might just do away with. I don't know where the Most High gonna put them, but pursuant to Psalm 50, he's not gonna live among the living anymore. He's not gonna dwell among the living. Now, to be fair, back at the One West School, High Priest Ariah and High Priest Yaquab, they had two different opinions about Esau. High Priest Ariah said, well, Esau is going to come back because you can't destroy his spirit. And he might come back as a Canaanite. He might be mingled among the other nations. But High Priest Yaquab said, no, he's going to be done away with. And I don't want to see that devil no more. The Most High going to get rid of his spirit. All right. So it says in the 17 and 18th verse, Yahweh, thou hast heard the desire of the humble, buzzword, who are the humble. Thou will prepare their heart, their mind, starting with the elect. Thou will cause thine ear to hear. So that's why you should cry to the Most High. Complain to the Most High. To judge the fatherless and the oppressed. We are the fatherless and oppressed. A lot of us never met our fathers. That the man of the earth made no more oppressed. Who's the man of the earth? Esau. That the man of the earth, that the man of the earth made no more oppressed. The Arabs ain't oppressing us. The Moabites ain't oppressing us. Let me look up the word oppress. Iratazah. To tremble, dread, fear, oppress, prevail, break, be terrified. Deuteronomy 28, there shall be no might in thy hand. Thou shalt have a wife, but another man shall lie with her, which is adultery. So they don't believe in the Most High. None of them. If they say they do, they're lying. So now let's come back over here and let's go to Psalm 52, verse 2. It says, thy tongue deviseth mischief, that's Esau, like a sharp razor, working deceitfully. Everything that you do is deceitful. Thou loveth evil. I love this verse. Thou loveth evil more than good. If Esau was given the choice, here's evil and here's good, he's going to always choose the evil. It's not in his DNA to choose the good. It says, third verse again, thou loveth evil more than good, and lying rather than to speak righteousness. Like this, the Edomite of vocab Malone. Anytime you bring out a precept, he's got to come. Nope. When you break it down this way and go into the hermeneutics of the subject, hey, like, how can you get around Daniel 7:7-9? How can you get around Revelation 1:13-15? How it's plain as day that those two precepts is talking about two so-called black men. How do we know? The woolly hair, the dark skin. Oh no, that doesn't. The wool represents. We do know that sheep are white. Well, you got white sheep, you got black sheep, you got black and white sheep, you got black, brown, and white sheep. You got brown and black sheep. You got gray sheep. You got light brown sheep. You got dark brown. I mentioned black sheep. So what the hell are you? So this is what vocab said. This is what that devil actually said. It's wool. We all know that wool is white. No, wool it comes in many colors. White, black, brown, off brown, gray, black with white spots and brown spots. Thou loveth all devouring words. O thou deceitful tongue, the Most High shall likewise destroy thee forever. Destroy thee forever. He shall take thee away and pluck thee out of thy living place, thy dwelling place, and root thee out of the land of the living. And root thee out of the land of the living. Mean you're not going to, based upon this precept right here, you're not going to come back among people. 6th verse, we almost done. The righteous also shall see the fair, and thou shalt laugh at him. Lo, this is the man that made not the Most High his strength, but trusted in the abundance of his riches. So his God is Pluto. When you go to James chapter 5, and you look up the word rich or riches in James chapter 5, starting from the 1st verse, and you click on it, the word there is Plutos, which is the god of the Roman equivalent to the Greek god Hades, which was a god of the underworld, which is the dust. So what comes out of the dust? Gold, silver, oil. That's how they became rich. And strengthen himself in his wickedness. Because anytime he comes off as a righteous person, he's acting. It said, but I am like a green olive tree in the house of the Most High. I trust in the mercy of the Most High forever and ever. This man doesn't trust in the Most High. He trusts in his riches. Now, I did a list of the richest men on the planet, which they didn't give you the truth of the true riches. The super rich are really the guys that you don't hear about behind the scenes, talking about old riches. But what they'll do is they'll put number 1, Jeff Bezos, number 2, Bill Gates, number 3, Elon Musk. They'll put like Edomites up there. Those guys are middle management. And they made most of their money doing this, this thing for the last 2 years, 2.5 years. Everybody lost money. They were some of the few, it was 3 of them, 4 of them really, 4 or 5 of them, that they became even richer. But people don't see it, American people, because they're low IQ. I will praise thee forever because thou hast done it, and I will wait on thy name. Now, Nate could use it. See, we got to wait for his name. We don't know his name. No, we know his name. For it is good before thy saints, which are the Israelites. Anyway, with that, I'm going to say shalom.